My name is Jayshawn Pearson, and today I'm going to do a skateboard review on glider skateboards. And today I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of this deck. I'm going to go and talk about the pros of this board. The first thing that I like about this board, it has two identical tails on both ends of the skateboard, which means that it's symmetrical on both sides of the board. Another thing that I like about this skateboard is that it has a mellow kick on both ends of the deck as well. And I really like a mellow kick when I do my tricks, going down stairs or going down rails, and it helps me perform at a higher level if I was skating a steep kick skateboard. And I like a mellow kick on both sides of the board. It really helps me with my tricks. Now when it comes to the concave on top, like in this area right here where you flick when you do your flip tricks, it took me a while to adjust my foot to the concave of a symmetrical board, because I was so used to skating a standard skateboard for so long to where I got adjusted to the concave to the point that my flicking got so used to a standard concave. Now, as far as the tail shape and length, I like how they made the tail length a 6.60 length of a tail. And that's from the boat to the end of the board. And I like how they measured that very well. And I don't really like a long tail. I like a shorter tail just a little bit, because it gives the board a better snap off the ground when you performing your tricks, instead of having a longer tail on the board. I like how they did that, and that's a bonus on this board on both ends. And I really enjoyed that while I was skating this board. And I had to adjust to the tail because it was kind of affecting my flip tricks, because it was so short to the point that I had to get used to flicking off my tail, because I was so used to flicking on my nose all the time. So now that I'm skating my twin tail again, and this is actually my first time skating a true symmetrical skateboard. And I skated twin tails that really wasn't symmetrical all the way around the deck, and I had bought some over the years, but this one is special. This one is symmetrical all the way around, and I like that. It's mellow all the way around the board, and it's kind of flat, and I like that. Over time, as I was skating this board, my flip tricks came back to me, because I had got used to the board and how the board was built. And as I was skating this board over the past month, this board has gotten broken in to the point that it had got really loose, and I got adjusted to it so fast. That's when I started to get all my tricks back. So I had struggled for like a week and a half, and I was kind of frustrated because I thought that I was gonna have trouble with this board when I first saw it in the package and I opened it, that the board was gonna break in the way it did. And that's why I got a little bit frustrated in the beginning, because I thought that I was gonna struggle for a whole month with this board. When I saw it in the package, when it got shipped to my apartment door, and I took it in the house and opened up the package, and I saw how the board looked, and I'm like, I'm not really sure if I'm going to succeed on this board. And I was thinking that when I was looking at the width of the board as well. So I'm gonna talk about that when I get to the cons of this board. And another bonus that I like about this board is that the wood is very light when it comes to doing your tricks, the board performs at a higher level because of the lightness of the wood. I don't know what wood company that they use to make their skateboards, but their wood is really strong. And I really enjoy skating on this skateboard because of the lightness of the wood. And it has good quality wood, just like any other skateboard that I rode in the past. I know when to tell if a skateboard has good quality wood based on the lightness and the sturdiness of the board. And I really like that about this board. And I like how they made a stain ply under the graphic of this deck. And I actually like how that looks when the board is getting scratched up and you see that color pop out on the graphic. And it makes the graphic pop out a little bit better when it has a stain ply at the bottom of the board. And I actually like that, and that's a bonus when it comes to this board. But most importantly, I like how they added the blue top on this board. And I'm gonna show you a picture of that right here. And I like how they added that color on top when I bought this board on their website. When I opened the package and I saw that, I'm like, man, yes, that's the board right there. I'm gonna have good luck with that. And yes, the blue top is good luck for me. Comment down below which color top you like the most. Mine is the blue color and the pink color and the purple color. I don't know if glider skateboards have the purple color, but all I know, they have the blue stain top and the yellow stain top, which I haven't got yet. But I like the blue stain top, and that's a bonus for me when it comes to glider skateboards. And I forgot to talk about how quick this board has a quick responsive when it comes to flicking on this board. And when you do your flip tricks, it responds very quickly, and it has a very quick snap when popping off the tails of this board. And that's another bonus that I like about glider skateboards. You should go to their website and buy this board right now if you haven't already. Now, moving on to the cons of this board. The only thing that I don't like about this board as of right now is that the wheelbase is kind of too long for me. I actually skate a 14-inch wheelbase or a 14 1/4 wheelbase. And having a wheelbase that's long kind of throws me off a little bit because I'm so used to having a shorter wheelbase when I do my tricks and when I turn. It has a quicker response if you have a shorter wheelbase instead of a longer wheelbase. And it kind of affects me a little bit by having a 14.3 wheelbase. And that's what this wheelbase is. It's a 14.3 wheelbase. I kind of struggled in the beginning when I skated this board, and I didn't understand how to get used to the wheelbase because I was so used to skating a -14-inch wheelbase on other skateboards that I rode in the past. And I was so used to skating a 14 1/4 wheelbase as well in the past. But I had got used to the wheelbase on this board, and I'm fine with it now. But I wish it was a 14 wheelbase or a 14 1/4-inch wheelbase. And that's one of the things that I would change about this board, is the wheelbase. Now, as far as the length of the board, now I have a problem with that. I'm not a big fan of a long board like that, of the length. If you are shorter than 5'10", you need a wheelbase of a 14-inch wheelbase and down. So if you're shorter than 5'10", you need a wheelbase that's shorter than a 14.3-inch wheelbase. So all skateboarders have their own preference on their skateboards and how they like to ride their boards. So I'm not saying that you can't skate a wheelbase that's above 14 inches. But I prefer a wheelbase that's shorter because it helps me have a quicker response when I'm turning. So that's why I prefer having a wheelbase that's a 14-inch wheelbase or a 14.25-inch wheelbase. So if you have a wheelbase that's longer, your turns will be more slower when you're trying to turn into something, when you about to do a trick or something. But if you above 5'10", I prefer you to skate a longer wheelbase. So for me, I prefer a shorter wheelbase instead of a longer wheelbase. But the wheelbase on here, I can still skate the board with this type of wheelbase. So it's not really affecting me, but I just prefer a 14-inch wheelbase or a 14.25 wheelbase. So that's just my opinion. It all depends on the skater of what he likes or what she likes. Now with the length of the board, I'm not too of a big fan of a longer board, but it is a 31.70 length of a board. So it's not really affecting me. It's just, I wish it was like a 31.5 length of a skateboard. And that feels comfortable to me. But this board has a 31.70 length. I had got used to it over time as I was skating it. And if you are shorter, you need a length of a board of a 31-inch length. And if you are taller, you need a board that's a 32 length of a board, because it all depends how tall you are. And this picture right here will tell you the scale of what you should pick when you first pick a skateboard at your local skate shop. It all depends on how tall you are or how short you are with the length. And that's another key factor that I would change about this board, is the length. Now with the width of the board, now it's close to a 8.14. It doesn't have a 8.14 of a width across. And I kind of struggled with that in the beginning when I was skating this board. When I took it out the box and I looked at it and I was like, I probably go struggle with the width of the board because it was kind of too skinny. But when I measured it across, it's just 1 inch off. And I'm like, well, if it's just 1 inch off, I would still be able to feel more comfortable on the board if it was just a 8.1 width. Since it's close to that 8.1 of a 1/4 width across the board, I'm still able to skate this board with no problem. And I have a lot of success with this board. That's one of the big key factors that I would change about this board, is the width. But other than that, that's just my opinion. So overall, this board is still good. I still like it. If I had to rate this board on a scale to 1 to 10, it'll be a 9, just because the length, the wheelbase, and the width. That's it. But everything else is fine. But that's all I have for this review of glider skateboards. So if you don't know who they are, check on their Instagram right here. And I will leave a link in the description so you can go on their website so you can choose which board you want, a standard skateboard or a twin tail. And I recommend buying one of their boards and supporting them. And y'all wondering what board is this right here on the wall? I bought another one from them, and it's the same one. And it has the blue top, which I like, and it's good luck for me. So I recommend going to their website and buying one of their boards right now if you haven't already. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that notification button so you won't miss out on videos like this every week. Catch you in the next video.